Hi there, John Moore here, and I am a shamanic practitioner and teacher. I live in the state of Maine in the US, the northeastern part of the US. We have, I don't know when you're watching this, but we have just passed Yule, the winter solstice, and Christmas, and we're on our way into New Year. So in the middle of the holiday season. So I haven't done too many of these videos lately because I have been very busy. I'm a busy guy with a family and clients and students and the whole deal. But I thought I would reach out and do another one of these. And today I want to talk about shamanic dream work, or dreaming as it applies to shamanism. And dreaming is a really important topic in shamanism. There are lots of dreaming practices in shamanic cultures. I want to talk about why dreaming is so important and why you might seek out or learn some shamanic dream work or go to a shamanic practitioner for some dream work. And I'll say that dream work is a little bit of a specialty of mine. In fact, I do a weekly radio spot up here in Maine where callers to this morning radio show call in, and I help interpret their dreams and give them some guidance from whatever the spirits tell me that comes along. So dreaming is really important, and we know, just speaking from a physiological, ordinary world, what you might consider the real world, if you consider the dreaming world not real, or other worlds, the world of imagination, or other worlds not really real. There are real implications. There are reasons why we dream. We do almost nothing that doesn't have some sort of evolutionary purpose. And we see, dogs and animals dreaming. And when we connect people to machines, we can tell when they're dreaming. And science will tell you we don't exactly know why people dream. But what we do know is if we interrupt people's dreaming, they will immediately try to make up for that. When they go, their brains will, when they go to sleep, will immediately throw them into the dream state again. It does seem to be an incredibly important process. It's part of, strictly in an ordinary world level, it's part of processing really unconscious material. This is why some psychoanalytic fields, particularly the Jungian type psychoanalysis, was very heavily focused on dreams and dreaming, because they were viewing these as messages from our unconscious or subconscious mind coming through. So I want to approach this from that perspective, that it is our unconscious speaking to us, but that these are also messages from spirit. And what do I mean when I say from spirit? They're messages from our spirit. They can be messages from other spirits, but underneath it all, we are interconnected with everything. That's one of the parts of the shamanic worldview, is the sense of interconnection. And that being interconnected, we have lots of dream material come up. Now, a lot of people have dreams that they can't make sense of because the material is not necessarily linear, not necessarily digital, as in, by digital I mean this means this. I'm going to grab a weird object I have here. This clothespin means I'm afraid of alligators, something along those lines. Dreams are not so linear in their interpretation. And one thing I would caution you against is if you're trying to figure out what your dreaming means to you, the content of your dreams, what the significance of that is, I would caution you from going to look up dreams in a dictionary. There are dream dictionaries out there. There are online resources. Oh, when I dream about butterflies, it means X or Y or Z. And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Those things are, they have a semblance of truth, but dreams happen in context. It's an entire reality that appears to us, and a lot of it has to do with what's going on in your life right now, what has gone on, what spirit is saying you're ready to take on, things from your past getting pushed up again, things coming up from your shadow. There is a lot going on. This is why, for me, I really like dream work, because it is so rich. I can get from a tiny little dream, I can get so much information for a client. In most shamanic cultures, I won't say all because I don't want to speak universally like that. In most shamanic cultures, dreams are extremely important and would frequently be shared amongst family groups or tribe or what have you. People might go around, in fact, and share dreams every morning. I dreamt about this last night. I dreamt about this last night. There is also very specific dream work that some shamanic cultures do, as in, lucid dreaming work and dream incubation and, visiting different worlds, using the state of dreaming to enter into shamanic worlds. And there's a little bit of a difference between shamanic journeying and dreaming. They are very similar, but dreaming allows us to be sort of enter in a different way. We'll put it that way. So are your dreams, a question I get, are our dreams important? Are they always important? If I dream, just about being nervous about taking a test or a job interview or something like that, is that important? Do I need to get some interpretation for that? And the answer to that is you don't need to potentially get interpretation for every dream. Importance is a value question. How important is it for you if you keep having anxiety dreams coming up, stuff that makes you scared or nervous or nightmares? How important is it for you to pay attention to that signal from your unconscious or from spirit that there's something going on? There's something that's making you anxious, and maybe you're cramming that feeling down and you need to express it or take care of it. Or there's something that you're not paying attention to that part of you is paying attention to and wants you to pay attention to, because it's a matter of safety or security or what have you. So recurring dreams that are specifically highly charged with emotional energy, dreams that are incredibly significant, repetitive dreams are important for the reason that they're continuing to come up, and sussing out the reason why this continues to happen can be challenging as well. So if you have dreams and you don't know what to make of them, they are disturbing or they're emotional, or I'm dreaming of deceased loved ones and I want to know if it's an actual visitation or it's part of my grief coming up or any of those things, what can you do? Well, you can learn a lot of your own dream work, and there's a fantastic author named Robert Moss who writes a lot on shamanic dream work. You can take classes. I think he offers classes online, and there are others out there. You can do that. You can go to a practitioner who specializes in dream work. It could be a shamanic practitioner like myself. It could be a psychotherapist who is trained in doing that kind of work. I think that has become more rare as the insurance industry and the medical model of psychology has kind of taken over, and we look for briefer therapies than sitting in a chair a la Freud or Jung for years on end. I think it's become much more rare for people to be able to dive into the unconscious, which I think is unfortunate, because there's a tremendous amount of healing potential there. So from a shamanic perspective, when I work with somebody and they come to me with a dream, I might either journey into their dream and gather information from there and bring it back for them. Or I may just work intuitively, depending on how uncomplicated the dream might be. And sometimes dreams that seem uncomplicated might turn out to be very complicated. We can have, stuff from our childhood and stuff from past lives and stuff currently all wrapped up in a ball, and sometimes untangling that can be a little challenging, but doing so is rewarding because there's a lot of energy frozen up in there. There's a lot of energy in our dreams. There's a lot of information in our dreams. It's coming from parts of ourselves that are normally hidden. One of the reasons why dreams can be so cryptic is this is not frequently nonverbal information, and it comes up as metaphors. Our spirits love metaphors and symbols. That's why symbols are so powerful as spiritual tools. If you think about, the religious symbols that are out there, right? And just going by the Christian cross, and how that has been used as a powerful symbol for a couple of millennia, to the point that it used to ward off vampires in popular culture, and has its own sort of beyond the strict religious symbology. There's this whole magical, powerful symbology that has evolved around uses of the cross as well. And not to get into a whole debate about theology, but I'm just talking about why symbols are so powerful to us as people, and how dreaming frequently works on a very symbolic level. It works on a level of spirit that is much less about strictly, and I used this term before, digital information. Digital information is sort of, when I talk about digital, I mean like ones and zeros, things that can be represented by a computer. Something either is or isn't something, right? It's either on or off. And so this symbol, to say a symbol represents X, is really only scratching the surface. There's layers and layers and layers of meaning to symbols. And I'll probably do a video on symbols at some point in the near future, but I wanted to talk about dreaming. One of the common things I hear from people is, I don't dream. And that's untrue. You do dream. Everybody dreams. Everybody dreams numerous times every time they sleep. I don't remember my dreams very often is a much truer statement, not remembering your dreams. And we don't always dream in visuals either. And we don't always dream in ways that we remember. And so on average, if you remember a dream a night, that's pretty frequent. But we know that from research, that we dream 3, 4, 5 times a night at least. So you are dreaming, you just don't remember it, and that's okay. But it's the dreams that wake you up, or that stand out, or that stick with you, that sort of stuff that I would say you probably want to delve into a little bit and figure out what's going on there. I will talk about shadow work sometime in the near future. That is an incredibly important part of any spiritual development, but particularly for shamanic practitioners. If you have met practitioners who have not done their shadow work, and I'm not just saying shamanic practitioners, but any sort of spiritual people who have not done their shadow work, it can turn out rather poorly. And I've had a few run-ins in my time, so perhaps I will talk about those when I get to shadow work. So anyway, this has been a little bit about dream work and shamanism, and I hope this has been informative. I hope you're staying healthy and happy, and looking forward to the new year. If you're watching this in the new year, then happy new year, and I will talk to you real soon.